Jasprit Bumrah. He is India's ultimate pacer and the one who will ensure that India remain on top for most tournaments and most ICC events. He was the key factor in the ICC T20 World Cup. Despite his absence in the ODI setup because of the injury that he suffered in the BGT, India still managed to win. So yes, India have shown that they can win without Jasprit Bumrah, but they cannot do it consistently. Now, former New Zealand pacer Shane Bond has given a warning to the BCCI over Jasprit Bumrah. Because if you want to preserve Jasprit Bumrah, you'll have to do certain things. Bond actually feared the worst when Jasprit Bumrah pulled out of the Champions Trophy, because he said, I was worried that it wasn't going to be a sprain. It might be a bony injury around the back. I thought he may struggle to make it to the Champions Trophy if it was. Most of the fears were proven true. Jasprit Bumrah could not make it to the Champions Trophy because it was not a strain. It was a bone injury. And if that bone injury continues, there is serious trouble ahead. And Bond's prediction was proven right, because he didn't make it to the Champions Trophy. He's missing the first 2 weeks of the IPL, Jasprit Bumrah. Slowly, they want to ease him back into fitness. And that is why this is a major concern that the Indian team will have to deal with. How will they deal with? Bond is like saying certain things which could be vital for Bumrah's career longevity, because he said, where are the opportunities to give him a break? Where are the danger periods? This is the one danger period that Bond has identified, that yes, if you transition from T20I to Test, that is when there is a problem. He mentioned his transition from IPL to WTC will be a risk. There is always a problem with Jasprit Bumrah at this point in time. Whenever he's played T20I cricket, whenever he's transitioned into Tests, there has been an issue. And that is why he suffered a back injury for the first time since 2020. 2022, he had another back injury which kept him out until 2023. So that is why now, 2 years later, he suffers yet another back injury which ruled him out of the final test in Sydney the last 2 days, and India suffered. How do you manage to ensure that Bumrah's longevity is there? Bond has a simple answer to it. England, you're playing 5 test matches. Australia, when they come home in 2027 here, you're going to play 5 test matches. How do you balance it out? Bond has told the BCCI, and he's still telling it now, wouldn't want him playing more than 2 tests in a row. Coming out of IPL into a test match is going to be a huge risk. When do you play Jasprit Bumrah? Because you saw what happened in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, 150 plus overs, including a punishing toil that happened to him in Melbourne. 9 wickets, but he bowled 50 overs. This is the problem. Jasprit Bumrah's workload was so huge that he broke down at the end of the day in Sydney. And that is where you have to look at Jasprit Bumrah. He has to be maintained for the England tests. But Bond says, don't play more than 2 tests. Rest him for 1 test. But where is the time? If India are behind and they want to come back in the series, they will want Jasprit Bumrah. How will you go about it? This is the solution that Bond has proposed. Because he has warned the BCCI, if there is another injury in the same spot, that could be a career ender potentially. Because I'm not sure you can have surgery on that spot again. It's coming from the individual who's had multiple back injuries. Shane Bond's career, he had a back surgery at 29. He played until 34. But then after that, he had another back injury. 6 months later, he called it quits across all formats. This is the issue with it. A back surgery means there is borrowed time. And you can't play all formats. It's a punishing toil on the back. So that is why if Bumrah has that injury in that same spot, then his career could prematurely end. That is the risk that you've got. Many people have said Bumrah doesn't have a long career. We hope that the naysayers are proven wrong, but Shane Bond knows that where he's coming from, Bumrah is of that similar thing altogether. What the BCCI needs to do, some good management and just some open conversations with the players. Just ensure that, okay, we are doing this in the best interest of the game. We are doing it in the best interest of your career. Try quitting certain formats. and try ensuring you don't play more than 2 tests in a row. That's how Jasprit Bumrah's career could be prolonged. Do you agree with Shane Bond's assessment? Do you think that another injury to Jasprit Bumrah could be career ending? You can write to us in the comments below. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.